Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to a very special episode of the Smokin Tabacco Show. My name is Matt Tobacco from SmokinTabacco.com, and tonight we're doing things a little bit different. Normally we have like a guest on, or it's myself and John. Sometimes Cole's on here with me, and we're shooting the shit, we're smoking, talking cigars, talking cigar news, sports. We're doing something different. It is the week of Christmas, very festive, and we wanted to do something a little bit more entertaining. Well, not maybe more entertaining, but on a different entertainment level. We got a little cooking mashup going on with the boys at Hacking Gourmet, and I'll get into that in a second. But welcome to the show. It's going to be full of fun. Brought to you by McAuliffe and Nova Cigars, our friends over there, our good friends at McAuliffe and Nova. That we, normally get into those segments with them. But like I said, different flow of the show tonight, so we're going to get into some news and some stuff, but we're going to be doing a couple other things as well. So not the normal flow of show here. I want to welcome the gang from Hacking Gourmet. Now, for those who don't know, Hacking Gourmet is the latest and greatest cooking sensation that happens live. And it stars Mr. Jonathan Carney, Mr. Fred Rui, and Mr. Brian McGee. And that trio is over there it's every other Monday night, and they're always cooking up something special. They're also cigar people, so they also smoke. They know their way around a stick. But we want to do a little mashup. It's Christmas, like I said, so we're going to be doing a little Christmas appetizer cooking / smoking. I think John's the only one who's not smoking, based on what I see over there. But boys, welcome to the show. Also, we do have Smokin Nicole with us. Nicole will also be on the show. She's going to be cooking tonight, and she's going to get into that in a second. Nicole, where are you? I don't think I see her.
Let's jump on Nicole. There she is.
Hey everyone.
There she is.
So I am here cooking. I am making a bone marrow crossantini tonight. With some balsamic shallot tomatoes, which I'm about to put in the oven. So I have these all prepped and ready. My bone marrow is already in the oven. It's roasting. And I am drinking an old fashioned that is apple cider themed here with some Russell's Reserve. So
I think I may have jumped past something here. That was my bad.
Nicole, we'll jump back to you, Nicole, once we actually introduce your guests, the Hacking Gourmet team. So we'll jump to Nicole in a bit. We've got show notes. We've got show notes. It clearly says what's going to be going on. This is welcome. The Hacking Gourmet team is here.
Let me just say something really quick. We don't normally use show notes and outlines on this show, so I'm not used to doing this. So forgive me, I made a mistake. I was just looking for Nicole on the feed there, but I do know. So we are going to go to John first, and we'll come back to Nicole later. But anyway, John, take it away.
So we're the crew from Hacking Gourmet. I'm John Carney. We're going to introduce our meter-rater, Fred Rui. He's cooking with us this evening. And we also have Brian McGee with us as well. So we got the whole Hacking Gourmet team. Thanks for having us tonight. We really appreciate it. We got our friend Chris Rosenthal over here, already off the rails. Love it. Apparently I'm the factor in all of these shows that causes the issues. So it is what it is. But we're good. We're streaming live, and thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Was really excited for this. I've been watching the show since when I've known about it too, obviously, since the quarantine grilling days, before the name change. So it was only fitting. John's on here with us every week, so I was like, we gotta do something, a little cross show, little meetup here. And so we finally, we were able to put something together, and I think that we have a nice little theme going for tonight. But gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think we'll
By the
way,
if it's any consolation, by the way, Matthew, he sends the notes to me every week, and I never read them anyway, so don't feel like it really matters. I like to say that, hey, thanks for the notes, make me feel better about it, but it's really just, it's a train wreck no matter what, so I like to think that if I had prepared and it was a train wreck, then something went wrong. If I don't prepare it as a train wreck, it's like, hey, what'd you expect was going to happen?
Well, so I feel a little bit better now. So I'm I have the show notes in front of me. I am reading them, and I missed just, I don't know, kind of the way it was put together. Not that it's John's fault, just I don't know. I missed the end part there, and I was just trying to read it all, and I fucked up. I'm not used to reading off the teleprompter. You know what I mean? That's not my style. John knows that. I don't read off the thing.
Yeah. Well, the times are wrong because we had a couple technical issues getting started, so it happens. So we're used to it. I also consciously put the font on the show notes in a font that Fred's not able to read as well, because I know he doesn't read them, so that's fine.
Yeah, you always pick on the old guy. Everything you print, I'm not able to read on the screen at all. And actually, I don't know if anybody caught it while we're rolling, and I don't know if I was on camera. Like, you've got this holly thing going here. I immediately had to change everything, jump to the other side of the grill, change the camera, because I was basically just standing inside this the whole time. So we had to make an adjustment there very quickly. That's the way the show goes.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would think that was John's plan from the whole beginning, is to just try to cover up some people so he can steal more of the spotlight.
Probably.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
it makes him look good. It makes him look good.
It's a disaster always. It's Hacking Gourmet. No matter what we do, it always is something screwed up. So we're glad to bring it to your show.
Hey, you know what? Yeah. The Smokin Tabacco show is not like, the prime time. I don't even know what's on TV anymore because I don't watch TV. But you know what I'm saying. We have our issues too. We've definitely been there. So, I'm no stranger to it. We're used to it here at Smokin Tabacco. We've gotten better at it. We've gotten a lot better at it, but we're not strangers to it. Brian actually has been on the show before. Fred, I don't think you've been on the Smokin Tabacco show, but I know
don't think
Brian
so.
has.
I don't think so.
Brian was with us in the very early days of the Smokin Tabacco show. I think he was actually one of the, not the first show, because that was the.
We tried to have him. Yeah, we tried to have him as a guest on the May Day Massacre. He was actually the May Day Massacre guest. And
that's
it just
right.
Didn't work.
Yeah, he was.
He was our first guest ever. Yeah. So, thanks for Brian for sticking around.
Yeah,
Brian, thanks for not quitting on us.
So let's jump over to Nicole and see what she's cooking, so we can actually start cooking here. So Nicole, you're on.
Hey again. So right now I'm actually making a vinaigrette. So my little layered crossantini is going to have the bone marrow with some roasted cherry tomatoes and balsamic vinegar and shallots. And then I made a parsley shallot vinaigrette to kind of sprinkle on top of the tomatoes when it comes out. So it has all that freshness. It has the umami flavor from the bone marrow.
So Nicole, what are you cooking? What are you actually cooking?
Oh, so I'm cooking the bone marrow. So hold on, I can take it out the oven. So
you're cooking Nicole's balsamic bone marrow crostini, correct?
Yes.
And then you're going to be making an apple cider old fashioned.
Yes. Well, I'm already drinking it, to be fair. And Matthew, he is drinking it also.
I do have one. It's right here. It's delicious.
So
I'll hold it up.
I don't know if you guys can see that, but I have the bone marrow kind of cooking here. And
Looks
what
good.
I'm going to do is scoop out the inside and spread it like butter as a base on my bread. So it's going to give it all that nice flavor.
Perfect. Yeah, we've got your ingredients up on the screen there. So that's nice. So if anybody's interested in what Nicole's cooking, that's there. Yeah. Fred, let's jump over to you and see what you got going on.
So I've got two things that I tend to do around the holidays. Actually, only one of them I do around the holidays. The other one is actually just for you, Carney, because you are massively in love with Brussels sprouts, as I am normally, but I think you actually may be more so than I. So the first thing I'm actually doing is ramaki, which is a traditional dish. I don't really change it much with the exception of adding brown sugar to it. But it is, you take water chestnuts, chicken liver, wrap it in bacon, because you know me and anything bacon, and then you just soak it in teriyaki sauce, let it marinate. So I did these, I skewered these up, had them ready to go on the grill. These are actually easier to do in the oven, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to play with the grill this time around and just cook them on there. Like I said, the only thing I do traditionally, as opposed to what's normal, is I add a little bit of brown sugar. And then you also want to pre-soak the toothpicks a little bit if you can in warm water, not cold water. Everybody says cold water, but it's actually supposed to be warm water. And that'll help them from burning completely when I go, especially in a grill scenario. And then the other thing I've got going is I decided to gourmet up some Brussels sprouts. I will never do this again because it was an absolute pain to prepare, but we're going to see how it turns out. So basically, these are stuffed Brussels sprouts, which actually takes forever. You blanch the Brussels sprouts, scoop them out, and then I made a stuffing out of a little bit of breadcrumb, ricotta cheese, Parmesan cheese, red pepper flakes, lemon zest, and bacon. I actually added some bacon to it and chopped it all up. So we're going to do those on the grill. I have them in the basket just because they're so small. They're a little bit difficult to deal with. So I'm going to actually just start while it goes on to the next person. I'm actually going to start the ramaki, put that on first, and just kind of get that going. By the way, I'm smoking an Illusione 888. And that's actually in honor to, I just got this grill. This is a Fuego grill, which I love. It has an external ring and an internal ring. Actually, I was with Dion. He cooked some steaks on his, and I was in love with it, so I had to get one. So this is an early Christmas present.
Yeah, I actually wanted to say really quick while we're still on Fred, is I'm not usually huge on Brussels sprouts either, but I've tried to cook John's recipe. Didn't come out that great. I mean, it came out okay. It was good, but it wasn't as good as John's. And I've tried other Brussels sprouts, and there's only 2 Brussels sprouts that I'll eat, and that's the ones at the Gordon Ramsay restaurants, because those are good, and John's. Those are the only 2 Brussels sprout dishes I'll eat, because I don't know. Other than that, I just never had a good experience with them.
So,
I'm a big fan of them. I think people that don't like them typically have not had them prepared correctly, but my wife included, who didn't really like Brussels sprouts. If you do them right, especially when you add bacon, they're really good.
What's going on here? Something happened. I don't know.
So,
Anyway,
so if anybody's watching the show and has an echo, please do not call me. Don't call me. Don't text me that it's having that. We are aware of it. I'm working on it. Every time you call and text me, it actually screws up our program because everybody's dialed in through phones and computers. So I hate to be mean, but please work with us as we work through the technical difficulty here. We understand that, and we're working very hard to fix that problem right now. But Matthew,
Sorry.
you and Fred are there. Let's jump over to Brian and see where Brian's at.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do a couple things I haven't cooked before. I'm going to cross-hatch this Italian loaf and stuff it with cheese, garlic, green onion, butter, brown mustard, and do like a garlic cheesy bread with it. And then I'm cooking some bacon. I'm going to do a beer cheese with bacon. And I've got some sourdough breadsticks to dip it in. And somebody told me shrimp actually goes good with that dip. Shrimp and cheese, I don't know, but we'll try it and see what happens.
Oh, I'm getting so hungry just watching all of this.
Excellent. Now, let's go. We're back to normal. So I'm going to be doing a prime rib baguette bites. It's going to have shallots, truffle salt, garlic, chives, beets, goat cheese, baguette, olive oil, honey, orange zest, and prime ribeye. So I've got a prime ribeye sitting over here. I've got truffle salt on it. We'll take a quick look at the grill cam if I can get it yanked up. So you can see the prime ribeye sitting over there. We've got the baguette here. The goat cheese I'm going to use is the blueberry goat cheese. So I'm making a little baguette. We're going to toast the baguettes up. And I'm going to make an apple cider hot toddy that's going to be with an ounce of bourbon. I'm using Woodford Reserve honey, lemon juice, apple cider, hot water, lemon wheel, cinnamon stick, and star anise to garnish it. So I'm going to put everybody on the screen. We're going to start cooking since this is a party. We're going to play a little music in the background here, and we'll get the show going. And Matt, you can take a look at what we're cooking and comment as you like, and I'll get everybody on the same screen.
Apps. So this is just making me really hungry.
Yeah, now you know how I feel when I'm not cooking and I'm just watching those guys cook. It's not a good feeling.
Yeah, I kind of get the feeling I'm about to get a taste of what it's like to be in Fred's chair when he's kind of just doing the commentating and there's no cooking on his end.
Yeah,
Fred, I don't know how you do
pretty.
it. How do you do it? I mean, you feel left out, you know?
Well, I started bringing snacks with me, just to have them so I could snack on something. I'm going to see if I can get a close-up of the grill, which I really can't, but I've got everything going on the grill there.
Fred, was it last week when you actually had you were chowing down on a McRib from McDonald's?
I did. Matter of fact,
yeah.
Brian hadn't had one, so I sent him one Uber Eats. I discovered that you could Uber Eats to somebody else. So I went on and had it delivered to McGee right in the middle of right in the beginning of the show. So it was great. And the McRib, by the way,
that's a good idea.
eating the McRib on the show went way better than the candy corn experiment, which was the Thanksgiving candy corn. That was an absolute. That was the worst thing I've ever eaten in my life, I think.
Yeah, anything with candy corn, I'm out. Like I'm
Oh no, I like candy
can't
corn,
do it.
but the Thanksgiving edition of it is horrible. It's like it's like turkey, cranberry, green beans, whatever. I don't remember what they all were. Stuffing. It was horrible. Absolutely horrible.
I remember seeing that. Yeah, I just. Hey, you know what?
The things we do for the show.
There was one show. I think it was the Snack Authority that I was in the audience for while it was being recorded one day. Actually, I think John was there too. I think it was right before the Hacking Gourmet event. That
it was. Yeah.
Happened down at Two Guys. And yeah, it was earlier in the day, and John and I were just kind of hanging out there before the event, and they were recording. And they were doing, I think it was like their Halloween episode or something. Maybe that was a different week. But anyway, they were doing something with those zombie Skittles, where like one of them tastes rotten. I was like, I ain't doing that. Yeah, no.
Yeah, don't give Fred any ideas.
No, I did my job on the candy corn. I think we're pretty much we're good.
Yeah, it's gotta be better than candy corn.
Anything was better than the candy corn. I'm gonna turn this up a little bit.
I watched
this thing will
two
get
people
close
make
to
a
700
face.
degrees, so I have to be careful with it.
I'm going to give you guys a little different angle here. I'm working on my steak right now. This is going to be my typical tempered cook method. This is about 1.5 pound steak. We're going to hit it on both sides here for about a minute, minute and a half, 2 minutes at the most. We're going to let it rest for about 5 to 10 minutes. Then it's going to go in a 550-degree oven for about 4 to 5 minutes. Then we're going to let it rest, and we're going to hit it one more time. We're going to do very thin slices on the baguette. I'm also using pine nuts. I think anytime you put pine nuts on anything during the holidays, it makes it extra festive. So I'm going to be
Are you doing
the
them
pine
whole or are you
nut.
chopping them up?
They're chopped little tiny pine nuts. I'm not going to chop them up. I'm going to create kind of like a onion jam type mix with the leftover juices from the steak here. And I'm going to saute up shallots. I'm going to put a little lemon juice and orange juice in there, some garlic, and that's going to go on top of the pine nuts on top of the steak once I put it on top of the baguette.
You know, the pine nuts are a very appropriate touch for Christmas. You know what I mean? I don't know if you planned it that way, but I mean,
I already
pine nuts,
roasted.
pine trees.
I already roasted the beets, so I'm just going to cut these beets in half here. I roasted them beforehand. So I'm going to cut them in half so I have smaller pieces to put on.
Brian, Fred, I'm starting to get a taste for how you feel. It's like I just feel like everyone's doing something and contributing, and I'm just sitting here smoking like an asshole.
Yeah, it's not pretty. It's not fun, and then you're just hungry at the end of the show, and
yeah.
That's usually how it ends. When the show ends and we're logging off, every week or every other week, Fred's like, "All right, I gotta go eat. I'm out."
yeah, no, I do. I'm starting to make like more charcuterie and stuff like when the show's going, just so I have something to snack on. But today I am cooking. So
Fred, your biggest hit was the moon cheese. That was the most popular snack on the show.
moon cheese, yes, I found that on that cross country trip. We actually had some of that today, believe it or not.
You know what I'm thinking? Once we get into the show, even on Hacking Gourmet, once we get into the show about 5-10 minutes, it always runs very smoothly, everything. I think what we ought to do is start the show not live, just on our own, and not have anybody watching it, and then we'll start 10 minutes into the show. That way it just automatically is running smoothly.
Except technically that we're on 30 minutes before we go live, so...
Right.
Today, not so much.
You're like tuning into a show that like started halfway through, and you're just seeing it from, I don't know. I mean, it's interesting
These
theory,
knives,
but I don't.
This knife set I got from Hacks on here, the Thomas Keller knife set. What a life changer this is. Just everything's sharp.
So let me ask you a question about those knives, actually, John. You obviously sharpen those yourself. What's the best way to sharpen those?
I actually don't sharpen myself. I actually ship them out to be sharpened. There's an online
Really?
sharpening company that you can use. Yeah, I can't remember the exact name of it, but you can ship them out online, and you just send them out and they have them back to you in like 2 days.
Now, I know you've had those knives for a little while. How often would you say you have them sharpened? I know you cook with them all the time, so...
I actually don't. It's only the 4th time I've cooked with them because they've been up here in Maine. I didn't bring them back to Miami with me.
Oh, really?
So,
Okay.
So I actually haven't had these sharpened yet. My recommendation is to have them sharpened if you're using them regularly, once every month or 2.
I definitely need to get myself a good set of knives to cook with.
I'll
For
tell
those who
you,
don't know...
I use this. I
Okay.
don't know if you can see it. The V sharpener. We do that through this works very well.
Now, I've heard a lot of people talk about when it comes to, some nice kitchen knives, cooking knives, chef knives, whatever you want to call them. I've heard a lot of people say, like, there's a lot of sharpeners out there that you'll find in a kitchen store or whatever, and in fact, a lot of them actually destroy some of these nice, expensive knives that some people buy. What truth is there to that? Is there any?
My recommendation is to have somebody that's a professional sharpen your knives. It doesn't cost that much money. If you're going to invest in a nice set of knives, you might as well have somebody make them and take care of them for you.
Absolutely. So, John, I see you got your steak out. Looks like it's taking a little rest there.
Yeah, it's resting. I think I'm going to make my hot toddy because I need a drink.
It's that time of the day, You need to unwind a little bit. See, Fred's over there manning the grill. Brian is real busy over there. Brian, I love how you have all your. It's kind of blocked right here, so I can't really see all of it because I got some stuff in the bottom of the screen. But Brian's got all his stuff right out there in the middle of the kitchen, just an arm's length away at all times. Just quite the arsenal right there.
Always ready.
Yeah, what you don't see is his giant bowl of Nespresso pods that keeps him wired all day.
I told you.
Nicole actually has an espresso machine too that she lives off of. So, Brian, you're not alone. You're not alone.
I love it. Best invention.
It's legal practice.
So we've got an ounce of bourbon in there, tablespoon of honey just went in. I'm going to use my Keurig K-Cup to actually get me the hot water. We're going to do a little bit of lemon juice. I'm going to use a fresh lemon here. So we're going to cut this up. So we're going to do some lemon juice here.
So we're just flipping the Ramaki a little bit. They're super hard to deal with because you're dealing with, when you put it together. And by the way, you're supposed to use an entire water chestnut. I'm not a huge water chestnut fan. So I actually only use the sliced ones, which probably makes it a little bit more difficult when you go to put it together because they're very, you're putting a chicken liver in with a half a slice, with a slice of water chestnut wrap and bacon. So it's all slimy starting out. So when you go to actually flip them and stuff, particularly on a grill scenario, you just got to be real gentle with them. But it's actually working pretty good. And they're probably only about 5 more minutes away. In the oven, you would broil them. But one, I wanted to use the grill, and 2, I have the most sensitive smoke alarm in the world that would go off even when I just open the oven. So
I haven't grilled myself in a few weeks, just because it's been cold and I haven't wanted to deal with it. But I'm really having that grilling withdrawal right now.
Well, it's freezing here. I'm in Florida, so I'm actually wearing a Patagucci sweatshirt, and it's 68 degrees out, so that's pretty cold for me right now.
Oh wow, yeah, that's real cold. So I'll give a little shout out to our friend Orlando Perez, our friend Orlando Perez in Anaheim, California, who when it drops to 55, he puts on his winter gloves and his winter hat and his blizzard conditioned winter coat, and he's like, I'm freezing. I'm like, Orlando, I'm looking at 28 degrees and snow on the ground up here in New England, so I don't even want to hear it. I'll take 55 all day long.
I'm going to mix this up just a little bit, guys. Mix this up just a little bit to get the honey loosened up. I've got all the bourbon in there. I've got the honey. I got the lemon juice. I got a half ounce of cider, hot water. We're going to top this baby off here with a lemon wheel and an orange wheel. Why not? We're going to stick a cinnamon stick in there. And then we're going to top it with star anise. We're going right on top. And there you go. There's the hot toddy.
Ooh, that looks good.
Cheers.
Cheers. Mm.
Here.
Yeah, it's really good.
I will say this one, this drink that Nicole made is good. But like I was telling her, you got that heavy cider in there, and you got the bourbon in there. It's a good drink. I don't think I could drink a lot of them. It's definitely a heavy drink.
Same thing on this hot toddy, man. I could get like 1 or 2 of these down, and then it's time to switch over to something else.
Yeah, this is definitely not like we're pounding them all down. Like I'll do maybe, I could probably do 1. I don't know if I would even do 2. I'd be like, yeah, that was heavy for me. It's mostly the cider though. I mean, that cider's pretty thick.
So the key here with the steak,
It's good.
we talked quite a bit about this. When I feel the steak isn't just for the texture of it, I'm feeling for the heat. When it starts to feel cool back down to room temperature, that means it's time, the resting time's done, it's time to go in the oven. So we're gonna throw this in here right now. About 4 or 5 minutes. We're gonna go medium rare on this.
Yeah, I like a good amount of pink in my steaks. Good call on the medium rare.
I just stole the Brussels sprout out there to see if they're ready and tasted one. I may have overdone it on the red pepper flake now that I think about it in retrospect.
A little too much?
It's got a little more kick in there than I think, but, it's okay.
Hey, you live and you learn. Hey, honestly, sometimes you need a good kick. Dresses up a dish real well. Actually, John, since I think I want to. There's one pretty interesting news segment I have here. I just wanted to bring this up really quick. One of the biggest things that came out this week is that United Cigars, who distributes Byron Atabey, is now got a Byron Cigar Lounge in Schaumburg, Illinois, that just opened. Now, earlier this year, we talked about that an Atabey Lounge opened up. So now there's a Byron Lounge that has opened up. And I have to say, I know we don't have it up on the screen, but just looking at the photos and stuff online, what a beautiful layout. Definitely the kind of place I'd want to hang out in. It's got a real upscale vibe to it. Definitely goes.
The place
with
is
the name.
beautiful.
Oh, fantastic. Definitely one of those places I got to get to when I start traveling again. That Atabey Lounge was cool, too. I forget where that was, though. Was it Arizona?
The Atabey Lounge was in Frisco, Texas at Industrial Cigar.
Oh, that's right, Texas. Yeah.
5 minutes from my house.
Yeah, that one was cool, too. I'd love to see them actually open up a few more of those. I feel like maybe one in Florida would do well. Possibly Atlanta. I don't know. Maybe there's could be talks to be doing more. Definitely a cool vibe. Definitely a nice layout. Like the theme. Definitely interesting. Atabey and Byron, which are still kind of up and coming names. I mean, they're good brands. We've talked about them a bunch of times, but still kind of newish to the scene. They already have some lounges going, and the lounges are definitely fitting to the name, like I said before. Nicole, how are you doing over there? Haven't heard much from you. I think she's on mute.
I'm doing pretty good. My tomatoes are still roasting, so that's what I'm waiting on. I've taken my bone marrow out, and I'm actually almost ready to plate because my appetizer is quick and easy.
Oh, that was
and
fast.
so I'm enjoying my drink. I know. And I just want to talk about the drink a little bit. So I made this apple cider old fashioned. I used 2 ounces of Russell Reserve, 2 ounces of apple cider. Instead of simple syrup, I used maple syrup. And then I added some apple for garnish, a couple drops of orange bitters, and some fresh cut apple. And Matthew said it was a little sweet. I heard him.
I'm really digging the maple syrup swap for simple syrup because I can't stand simple syrup. I like that swap.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's a good swap in this drink, too.
And I like how you use the real Vermont maple and none of that, like, Mrs. Butterworth's, like, corn syrup crap. You know
why
what I
would I
mean?
add Mrs. Butterworth Aunt Jemima into my old fashioned?
I know, like, I just want to say that was a nice touch. I mean, you did it right. You know, there's a lot of people who would get chintzy with it and put the thick maple syrupy crap in there. But no, you did it right. You did the nice, thin, Vermont maple. Because honestly, this drink couldn't get really any heavier, so that definitely keeps it from being too heavy. But yeah, it
And
has a nice touch to it.
And when I'm done plating, so I'll be done plating in about 5 minutes or so, I am making a version for people who don't like bone marrow. So instead of bone marrow, you can swap that out for just a piece of mozzarella and then do the blistered tomatoes and shallots with the parsley vinaigrette on top of it. So I'm doing kind of two different versions.
Who are
I'll be
these people
honest.
that don't like bone marrow?
Yeah, seriously.
Well, Matt has never tried it, so I'm gonna bring him one of each.
Oh.
Well,
Wow,
that
okay.
that doesn't mean
What
I
do you
don't
think?
like it. I just never had it. You know what I mean?
But in
Who
case you
knows?
don't and you're hungry, you have a version without it. So
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm always up to try new things. I'm not that picky when it comes to eating. I like to eat a lot, and I usually am not, there's very few things I don't like when it comes to food. Of course, there's tons of them that I could name, but none of them come to mind. But
Matthew, what are you smoking tonight? Have you mentioned what you're actually smoking?
oh, you know what? No, I haven't. I am actually smoking the Perdomo Champagne, Connecticut 10th anniversary. I thought it would go good with this. I was trying to decide what I wanted to pair with it based on kind of what I knew was in it and whatnot. And I grabbed this because it kind of offsets the drink. The drink's a little, like I said, a little on the heavier side. So this is definitely not a full-bodied cigar, but it's got that little extra kick to it that I think just pairs really nice with this drink. Like I said, it's got the cinnamon notes in it. This has got a little bit of the spice and pepper up front in the beginning. I just thought it would be nice. The cider. And so far it is. It's a nice pairing. Although I'm going to need another cigar here in a minute because I've already been smoking this for a little while. And I don't think I actually have any with me at the moment. So I don't know. I might be asking Nicole to do a quick run out here. Interrupt her
well, when
her
you're ready,
cooking
let me know
flow.
what you want.
I will. I'm not ready yet, but maybe another 20 minutes. I'm going to need another cigar.
So, Brian, what's going on your end?
All right, so I'm warming up some shrimp. I got the beer cheese with bacon thickening up. I've got the bread, the cheesy bread in the oven. I got about 15 minutes left on that. And then we'll start plating and putting all this fun stuff together.
I'll tell you, I just can't stop thinking about the beer cheese. When Brian first mentioned beer cheese, I was like, wow.
Yeah,
That's been like the only thing.
It's 8 ounces cream cheese, 8 ounces Velveeta cheese, bacon bits, and some of Uncle Tony's steak seasoning and salt, pepper, and 6 ounces of Blue Moon wheat beer.
That sounds so good. Fred, it's getting worse, man. I'm just getting like more and more hungry and like.
I feel for you. Trust me. It's you don't even know what to do. Like you talk, it's really hard to moderate because you're like, okay, let's talk about what you're cooking, and then you talk about your cooking, and you're like, and I got nothing. You're just sitting around looking at people cook. It's depressing.
Yeah, it is tough.
But you have somebody. You have somebody cooking in your house. I normally don't. Like during the show.
This is
true. You're going to get food. You know you're going to get food at some point here. All right, so we're gonna pull the Ramaki. Like I said, in an oven, this really doesn't take very long because you put them under the broiler. But on the grill, actually, and they held together pretty good. So I'm gonna pull these. And the nice thing about if you do it on the grill on the Brussels sprouts, which I'm going to leave on a little bit longer, by putting them in the basket, I'm protecting them heat-wise. So I'm sure if you've been watching, occasionally I'm kind of rotated a little bit because there's several different ring burners here that I can play with. But I'm going to pull the Ramaki here. Oh, the very last one, I lost a water chestnut. Well, for anybody that doesn't want the water chestnut, there's one in there that doesn't have that. So let me show you a picture of. Let me see if I get the camera on this. And show you what they look like when they're cooked.
Ooh, that looks good.
So they're skewers, baked, and like I said, real simple. Even people that don't like chicken livers, it's just got a nice richness to it. It's kind of the same way, not compared to the bone marrow, but it's one of those things that people kind of check out of. But if you ate it and you didn't know what it was, you'd be like, oh, these are actually pretty tasty. So, and I have an assistant here that's, handing me plates and then so I basically gave her a full plate of umaki and I got back an empty plate. This was not a fair exchange. So now what I'm going to do on this, and what I love about this grill, and I can't really get a picture of it, but there's an outer ring, as I mentioned, and an inner ring. And I'm actually just going to turn off the inner ring now and just leave the outer ring to kind of heat over the Brussels sprouts to get the ricotta cheese and Parmesan cheese to melt and crisp up a little bit more on the top of the breadcrumbs. And I'll tell you the one thing, and not that they sponsor, not that anybody cares, but I put together, this is probably the most solid grill I've ever put together. It's barely wider, the base of it's barely wider than a 5-gallon tank, and everything was incredibly solid. It's 85 pounds. It rolls around no problem. But to give you an idea of how solid it is, just the dial that I went to put on, you open up the package and you've just got the dial that controls the fuel. That thing probably weighs, it's probably machined, and it probably weighs like, same as a Coke can. And everything like that was pretty solid. So I've cooked probably about 5 times on it so far. Like I said, it was an early Christmas present and been really, really impressed with it.
Yeah, I've been noticing a lot of different grills out there that are gaining more attention. And there was actually a video that I saw someone did on the Traeger grills. And I actually don't know much about them, but I know that they run off of pellets. So basically, it's a wood burning pellet grill, which I found interesting because it's kind of different. I feel like it kind of gives you almost like a blend between like a smoker and that charcoal flame, just minus the charcoal. So you're definitely getting a different taste.
Yeah, the one that I actually purchased, because I researched for a while, and the Traegers are definitely very good. There is one by Pit Boss, which is another pellet grill scenario. But the reason I chose that one is that, you have the grates where you put all the stuff for smoking, and then you have the diffuser shield underneath it, and then underneath is an auger that feels, the pellets go through, and it just kind of keeps pumping the pellets through there. And you can get really good quality pellets, and as you start doing more and more, you start doing blends, and you blend different pellets like hickory, or maybe you're doing mesquite. And a lot of them, what you can do is you can actually just drain the pellets out back into a bucket and then put different pellets in if you're going to smoke something else. The reason I chose the one I did, which is the model's called the Austin XL, is that I can move a grate and I can open up the diffuser shield, which has slats in it, and I can cook right over open flame, which is a different type of cooking, which is really, really interesting. I just found that it fell a little short when you want to get just that incredible massive sear like something like this can do. But that particular pellet grill did have flexibility, and I think we went probably at least a year that I didn't have a grill, that I just either grilled on that or I smoked on that. And that was a good versatile thing to use.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if a lot of my viewers know this, but I do grill a lot. I do a lot of meats and stuff. Obviously, I've learned a lot of things from John, especially, just cooking with him and talking with him about stuff. And so I like to think pretty good with my grill skills. But one thing I haven't done yet, I haven't purchased yet, is a smoker. And I haven't really smoked any meats yet on my own, but it's one of those things that I've wanted to do so bad. And I know that it's a slow process, it's a long process, but, for me, it's going into it knowing, like, it's worth the wait. I'm one of those people where when it comes to, like, good food and stuff, like, I'd be willing to, obviously give that a shot any day of the week. And I've had other smoked meats. No, go ahead. I've done both. As far as the absolute, you've got a big smoker and a big firebox and stuff like that, and it really comes to your ability to manage the temperature. And it's kind of like if you've ever done saltwater aquariums, the bigger the tank is, the easier it is to manage because you have more live rock and it takes care of its own ecosphere, if you will. The bigger the firebox that's working a smoker, the easier it is to manage that temperature. If you get a small one and it's got a real small, firebox with it, then all of a sudden the heat goes way up and then you get fresh wood and you have to really manage that, and it's really difficult. The nice thing about the pellet grill is it is a cheat, but even your hardcore, smoker guys to say, look, if you're just looking for something simple, as long as you get pure wood pellets, you are burning wood. And it does have some fluctuations, but nowhere near if you're trying to run a smaller smoke box to it. So the nice thing about the pellet grill is you set it at 220, 225, 250, whatever you're setting it for, and it'll just keep feeding the pellets and maintain that temperature pretty close. So it's a good, I would recommend a pellet grill for anybody that's just going to casually smoke.
Otherwise, I think you got to step up pretty big for a good sized firebox.
Yeah,
All
but
right,
those
guys. So
fireboxes,
I
off that
plated.
smoker, you're no longer a barbecuer, you're now a fire manager, and you've really got to pay attention to that fire all the time. And like Fred said, the pellet smoker gives you a lot of convenience. You still get that smoke flavor, but I'm with you. I'm about to do the same thing. I want to get an offset smoker so I can truly, do a brisket or something like that. But you got to set aside 18 hours for that process.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, actually, if you want to watch somebody great, watch on the videos out there. Aaron Franklin does videos on obviously smoking briskets and everything else, but he spends about 3 videos just on managing the fire, and I was mesmerized, like how he stacked the wood, how cold was it outside, how he had woods, kind of in the front of the firebox that would slowly warm up and break the cold. It was really pretty impressive. So I've got a picture here of these. These have come out. I'll if I can get on camera for just a second, Jonathan, and then I'm done, and I'm just going to eat. These are the Brussels sprouts. As soon as Jonathan, there we go. So these are the stuffed Brussels sprouts. Like I said, the stuffing is ricotta cheese, Parmesan cheese, a little bit of breadcrumb, a little bit of red pepper flakes, a little bit of lemon zest, garlic, and that's about it. And you just kind of stuff them. I'm curious what else I could do with this stuffing, because it's a lot of work. You basically just blanch the what are the green things? Brussels sprout. You blanch the Brussels sprouts. You cut them in half. Then you got to scoop them out. If you're going to try to scoop them out, it's a pain. I mean, I used a grapefruit spoon because it's got a point to it and a serrated edge. I probably will not do this again just because it was a pain, even if they taste really good, which I've had snuck a couple and they do. But it's just a lot of work. But I'm curious on that stuffing, what I did, what's something else I might be able to do with it.
Just from like seeing them now finished and thinking about it a little bit more, I think that red pepper flake that you mentioned before, you had a little bit of concern with that. I don't know. I really think that might be like that finishing touch for those. I mean, you get the cheese, Brussels sprout.
I'm gonna try it right now.
Especially with Brussels sprouts, I mean, they can have that. They can have a strong flavor to them. So I don't know. I feel like that could.
Matthew,
that could
your
pair
girlfriend's
well.
trying to plate over here, so let's go to her screen.
Yeah, stop talking. So this is my plate. So I have my 3 bone marrow here with the roasted cherry tomatoes and shallots. And then I have the shallot parsley vinaigrette on top, and I made some with just the mozzarella. So
she wins the presentation
I'm going to bring some
award.
up to Matthew.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go grab my cigar, which I'm going to smoke a Padron, 26 with it. So that's what I was thinking would pair well. And yeah.
I can't wait.
Matthew
I'm
can
excited
try
now.
his first bone marrow.
All right, my beer cheese. Whoops. And down.
Matthew, is there any more? Is there any more news, Matthew? Is there any more news?
That is.
I hope you read the
all
notes. There must be more news.
There's not. No, I mean that's what I had for news.
There's actually more news. There's a new cigar that's coming out on January 14th.
Yeah, it says that Carney will announce that in the notes. So I don't know.
Yeah, you would have. Yep. So after you were done talking, you were to go to Carney. After Matthew news, Carney will announce. Your lead in is a. There should have been a segue.
Well, we did the news. And then
I'm
it
never
kinda got
doing
away
show
from us.
notes ever again. The more prepared I am, the more shitty it goes.
Famous last words.
Brian, what do you got going on?
All right, my beer cheese is done. You want to see it?
Yeah. Matthew, you were about to be the actual exclusive of that news. It was your exclusive news. You were the first people in the entire cigar industry that were going to know about it. I don't even know what I'm going to do now.
Well, I didn't. All right.
It was
well,
literally
you know what?
a product launch. I was giving you an exclusive on product.
Jesus, why don't make me feel worse about it now? Kick me while I'm down. It's hard to follow show notes. I'm not used to this. I don't. I'm a no note kind of guy. I've only done it one other time, and that was very stressful. I like to freeball it the whole way.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't read them anyway, so.
Thank you. I'm glad someone backs me. I'm sitting over here feeling shitty. But yeah, no,
I'm asking my wife. So what's the word on the cayenne pepper? Little heavy, she said. But Matthew, you're right. You're right. I think it's absolutely necessary with all that cheese in there. I think I just probably need to dial back a little bit. I was going off the way it looked color-wise, not necessarily flavor at the blend.
Yeah.
But it's still good.
Yeah, I mean, that was my first thought, especially with the ricotta being a heavier cheese. I thought, yeah, that'll definitely be nice. It'll offset that a little bit. But yeah, you're right. I mean, sometimes it can be a little too much, but you know what? Like I said before, you live and you learn. And that's the best part about cooking too, especially when you cook something for the first time. It's kind of an experiment in a way because you're not exactly sure just exactly how all of your ingredients and the flavors are all really going to mend together in the end. So that first time making anything, you know, for anyone is usually pretty unique. And then from there, that's when you tweak it and you usually get it to where you want it the next time around. But so John, let's try this again. All right, because now I'm too distracted.
I think I might go on Cigar Coop and just launch it with him.
Oh, okay.
Hey, did you hear the news about the new cigar coming out? Jonathan, you want to talk about that?
Yep, right. What is that they're talking about?
Yeah, I heard something about that.
Obviously you didn't hear enough. So, there is a brand new cigar. First time ever in the entire cigar industry. You are the leading person on this story. You're going to get to launch news. It's truly news that's being set for you. The cigar for the January 14th La Flor Dominicana Gourmet Smoke Session has been finalized. It is called the Airbender El Salud. And it will be featured at Mom's Cigar Lounge on January 14th, 2021. This is the first time in the history of the world that this cigar has been launched, and you are betting it here. It's an Airbender Maduro chisel featuring 2 champagne glasses made out of Habano wrapper, and this is the La Flor Dominicana Gourmet Smoke Session cigar number 4, and this is, you heard it here first, on Smokin Tabacco. So that was my Christmas present to you, Matthew, with some breaking news in the cigar industry. Next time maybe we should do a Secret Santa and you can open it up in a package here on the show, because obviously you're not going to read it on the show notes.
I'm never going to hear the end of this now. Wait
a minute. Wait, did the show notes actually say what the cigar was?
Yes.
It did.
Oh,
but
they did? Okay. Oh, all right. Never mind then.
I
got nothing.
I don't know how much of this I want to get into on the air. Because I don't know if
I'll read the show notes. It says, cigar news. Any news Matthew wants to discuss. After Matthew's news, Carney will announce the El Salud, the number 4 Gourmet Smoke Session cigar, live on the show with overlays, which we're looking at now. So,
yes.
In between, I will put next time, segue.
Oh, you see, that was very vague. I can see why Matthew missed it and I missed it. That was very vague.
Because if you look at the show notes, Fred, I think you should look at them right now, just for the sake.
You're the moderator. You're supposed to be moderating.
Well, yeah, but I'm not normally moderating. I'm normally just, it's kind of a different situation. But
all right.
I also, as I said, I don't use show notes. But
anybody interested to see what's going on in my food?
I do. I want to see how that came out.
I mean, is it in the show notes?
So far we've got everything done here. I've got the onion and the shallot and pine nut blend done. I've got my crostinis here, the baguette. I've got the blueberry goat cheese and the beets on there. All I did is hit the baguette with olive oil. We're going to cut this steak up in just a few minutes. I put inside of the onion blend here. This is onions, orange juice, lemon juice, some truffle salt, olive oil from the pan here, and some beef fat that I cut off the end of the steak. That steak's going to rest just for a few moments, and then we're going to cut that up. I'm going to top it with the onion and pine nut blend. We're going to use a little orange zest on there as well, and then we're going to call it good and top it with some chives, some slightly dry chives. One thing, you want to make sure your herbs and spices are always slightly dried. That actually brings the flavor out. You don't want completely dried. But if you get like fresh rosemary, fresh chives, using them right on top is not going to really perfect its flavor. A slight dry to it's going to be what you're looking for. So let's cut this steak open here. We'll flip it around, got the steak here. I didn't let this rest as much as I want to for the sake of time, but it's come out pretty well, about medium. We're going to cut this very, very thin.
So Matthew, have you tried the bone marrow yet?
No, she hasn't come out here yet. I don't know what she's doing.
Oh, I saw. You're not getting it because she plated it like 15 minutes ago. You're out.
Yeah, I know.
It's not on the show notes.
This beer cheese is awesome, bro.
Why do I feel like I'm going to be the butt of the joke? Like from here on out now.
That's what the
Everything
meter always is. The meter always is.
Yeah, well, I feel bad for Fred now because
Yeah.
Fred, this is almost how you feel every week.
Actually, McGee's just happy we're not picking on him. This is like his episode all of a sudden.
That's one of the reasons he stays quiet.
He's just
Nice
excited.
one,
He's got his beer cheese over there. Life's good.
Fred will agree with me on this. You really can't moderate a show with Carney on it because he's going to do all the talking anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I try to make show notes. I try to make show notes so I don't have to talk all the time. But sometimes you can just step
Brian
in.
and I are just on the show for eye candy.
That's it.
Visual aspect. Actually, John, so to build off of the news, I actually got this really interesting idea. Maybe this is something you've thought about. I don't know. But wouldn't it be interesting if after your gourmet smoke sessions series that you're doing, you made a sampler set of one of every cigar that was released at all the events, like a limited edition set. It's got one of all of them inside. Be a whole collection of them all in one box.
I can neither confirm nor deny that that's what's going on. Each cigar has a special name, so I can't confirm nor deny that at the very last event that we may make a sampler set for those companies that participated with us.
I hope I didn't steal any thunder there. I was just kind of thinking out loud.
No, he's actually already alluded to it on previous shows, but let's just go with the fact that you broke the story.
Yeah. I'm Fred, I'm grasping at straws right now. I'm trying to turn this shit show around. Hey,
I got it.
Hey, this show can't have any more of a collapse than the current Pittsburgh Steelers season.
Wait.
Oh.
Hey, even the Cowboys beat the Bengals.
I mean, you want to talk about shots fired?
Well, he's not a Patriots fan.
Well, I didn't. I'll be honest. I didn't even watch the Patriots game this week. You know what game I watched and I enjoyed? Chiefs at Saints. I liked that game. I felt like the Saints had a lot of missed opportunities, though. I mean, that fumble into the end zone.
Oh yeah.
I remember watching that, being like, "Oh shit!" And then he didn't have it. And I was like, "Oh, what a missed opportunity." But yeah,
I've been a Packer fan my whole life, and I'm enjoying the season.
Go Pack, go.
Yep.
Are you a so you're a cheesehead, but are you also a part owner of the company? I know that's like their.
I am. It's the only NFL team that the public owns it, and about it. Well, the last time you got a chance to buy an ownership was probably about 15 years ago. But the NFL won't allow it again. They won't allow a publicly owned team. So it's the only team there is, and the only time probably there ever will be.
Yeah, no, that's definitely it's truly unique.
All right, guys, we're finishing this off here. Getting some chives on top.
All right, my plating is done. My cheese
go back to
garlic.
Yeah, where's Brian? I've been waiting for Brian to come back.
Oh, look at that!
Look at that! Oh my God!
I'm gonna destroy this right now.
Oh man,
Take a picture of it, Brian.
Oh yeah, let me take a picture.
Does that come with some sort of something to clear your arteries, like one of those prescription drugs or something?
When he sent me over the information for that's what he was about to cook, I was like, man, that is a really heavy, heavy dish.
Oh yeah, this segment sponsored by Lipitor.
Yeah,
so
I don't know.
Topping this with a little orange zest here. Gonna give it a little bit of a citrus flavor. And then we'll put a little lemon zest.
Dude, all looks just so good. Especially, I've had you know, I've had Carney's food. Not that you guys are. I'm sure you guys have some really good shit too. But you know, I'm just saying for the sake of conversation, I've actually had his food, so I know how good it is. So I know how much I'm missing out.
The very last part on top is we're going to top with a little bit of black truffle salt. All right, and here you go, finished product.
Ooh,
Beautiful. Beautiful.
that looks so good.
That does look good.
Oh, Jesus.
Just take a bite.
All this is a big tease. You're watching other people cook food and eat it, and you can't have any.
It's killer. Goat cheese is real good.
See, I'm not a big goat cheese guy. But then again, like I said before, I would still try that because I trust you when it comes to food. Because every time I've had something of yours that had something in it that I normally don't like, I'm like, I'm gonna try it anyway, and it does it for me. I don't know what it is. It's just I will say, John does have that magic touch in the kitchen with food.
Bro, I just dumped my hot toddy, so
Thank you for clarifying that. I'm glad you clarified that in the kitchen with food.
Yeah.
I just, yeah.
Believe me,
Yeah.
I thought about it. I'm like, I gotta make sure I don't need anyone trying to turn this around. He has
That one in
the
the
magic
show
touch
notes.
with food in the kitchen. Nothing else.
if you ever want a
What's in
good
the show
holiday
notes?
scent, just dump your hot toddy directly on top of your grill top when it's hot. It'll fill the house with great aromas of cider.
Ooh,
Okay, that's a
Interesting
pro
touch.
tip.
Yep, steak tip of the day.
steak tip of the day. I like that. I'm gonna try that. Who would have thought? John's also very festive. He has the Santa hat on for Christmas.
Okay, where
I
is
missed that
your
memo.
bone marrow tasting?
I know. I'm waiting.
Yeah, where's the bone marrow?
This is the big moment. He hasn't had bone marrow. I'm dying to find out what he thinks of it.
Usually, whatever Nicole has, I don't think I've had anything Nicole's made me yet that I didn't like. So
Do like the Will Ferrell yell, "Hey, bone marrow," like the "Hey meatloaf" thing. Mom, meatloaf. Just yell it and see if that works.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
The only thing
don't
is,
do
I'd just
that.
be yelling. I'd be yelling to myself though, because I'm not even in the same building right now. I'd just be yelling at nothing. Then I would just feel even worse about myself than I already do. I feel like my first rodeo as a moderator was an epic fail.
Not at all.
But-
Not at all. You did way better than I do.
But
Matter
you know
of fact, you
what?
got the job. 'Cause every
know
time
what?
I
Every-
screw up, they extend the contract. I've been trying to get out of this for months.
Every time I've done a first on this show, it's been an epic fail. The first episode, Brian was there, epic fail. First time as a moderator, epic fail. First time trying to broadcast on my
Brian
own,
was, and
epic
Brian was there on both of those.
Brian was there for the May Day Eve massacre, which
Oh.
I don't even think we have a copy of anymore. It might.
So
be-
maybe Brian's the common denominator.
No.
Oh, way to turn it around and throw shade in the other direction.
Just saying.
It's not a
Brian,
show.
just science.
Brian, are you gonna take that shit?
What am I going to do?
Yeah, it's all right.
Brian's
I mean,
playing the Ed McMahon of the show right now.
I don't have any beef. I don't have any beef with Fred and Brian. This is just between me and Carney at this point. I feel like. What?
These are absolutely
You know when-
delicious.
You know when you get a really random, strange text message that just makes you kind of jump back, like, whoa, I just got one of those, but I can't read it publicly. I'll have to share it after the show. Oh, John, all this is just like a tease. Just watching you eat, and I'm like, I want that so bad. If you want to pay back, just eat the whole thing. Eat the whole thing right in front of me. Make me watch you eat all of it, and that'll be payback enough. That's enough torture.
I'm actually going to open up a bottle of wine to make you even more jealous.
All
I was
right,
gonna
actually,
go to the gym after this, but I'm done. I'm not doing the gym.
I was actually going to ask. I was surprised that there was no wine tonight because wine's a very... I don't know. I feel like
Well-
wine would pair well with everything here tonight.
Well, I was going to drink my hot toddy, but then it ended up on top of the stove top. So it was just, it was a problem. So I'm going to drink a small bottle of Chateau Neuf de Pape Chateau
Nice
de
pronunciation.
Beaucostal. Something French.
There you go. Oh, John, you know what? I just remembered. We have some wine to review.
We do. I got it sitting right there. I just grabbed it. It was right next to what I grabbed.
I
Just go
spoiled
grab a
one of
wine
them.
glass.
I remember I spoiled one of them for John, and then I didn't realize he wanted to be surprised by the package, so I didn't say anything about the other two. But now that he has them, so John, what do you think of the lineup?
Very good lineup. I don't know all the names, but we got a nice white wine. We got a really rich red wine, and then they sent us a bottle of champagne, which was nice. So we'll be drinking that on. I'll probably save that one for New Year's.
Ah, my bone marrow is here. Here we go.
Yay!
It's the moment that Fred has been waiting for.
Absolutely. You finally get to eat.
I know, right? It's
Okay, so I would recommend trying the one without bone marrow first.
without the bone marrow first, then the bone marrow?
Yes.
That's the
Yes.
strategy? Okay.
Yes.
Hey. All right, here she is. All right, hold on. She's trying to squeeze in. There's a lot of crap up here. All right.
Yeah, nobody
that's
knows
yours.
the pain of behind the scenes of, lights and stuff all janky on boxes and everything else, cords everywhere.
All right, so Fred said that I should do the non-bone marrow first, then do the bone marrow. That's the strategy that was presented to me. I know you didn't hear all of this, so I'm just relaying the message. Also, wanted to just put that right there for you. All right, here we go.
Oh, the sketchy text.
I finally feel included. That's good. Although, I was not expecting the tomato to absolutely erupt all over the place. Did you? Ah, there we go. See, she's a thinker. All right.
She's a professional.
She is a professional. All right. No, that is very good. Now I'm just more excited to try the bone marrow. Drop it everywhere. You didn't bring that plate, did you? All right. Well, I gotta put that down for a second. Very good. I will say, I know it's been plated for a little while, but the bread still have a nice crisp to it. It's still warm, so it's not ruined. I know that was a concern for a little bit, but no, it's still good. Bread's cooked just right. Tomatoes are very juicy, lots of flavor. Now I'm going for the bone marrow. So now this is the ultimate showdown here, I guess. Move my mic out of the way.
I feel like I'm watching a little kid have his first ice cream cone. Bring on the savory.
Oh, wow. All right. How do I say this? I got nothing better. Where has this been all my life? Where has this been? That is so good. And I like
Now
how
you got to
actually,
do it with the scrambled eggs.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like this better. I like the one with the cheese, and I love the mozzarella. But I almost rather we do this. This is fantastic.
Yeah, it's like starting out. It's the opposite of wine. You start out with your best bottle, and then you go down from there. It's the opposite when you start incorporating something like a bone marrow. It's like since you had the comparison, you have to start without it because you would not like the other one near as much once you've had it and your palate's had that.
Oh my God, that's good. Hold on one
No,
second.
I'm
What'd you say?
jealous.
Oh, I'm sorry. Nicole's over here looking for the cutter and lighter. I'm like, what are you trying to say? I'm like, oh, okay. She feels left out. Wow, that is good. That is good. Now it just got me thinking, like, what else? Like, I have all these ideas of like all these things I could put bone marrow on. I mean, that's just so good. Wow.
That's what bone marrow is about. It belongs on literally everything.
Yeah, I mean, like, holy hell. I mean, first thing that comes to mind, just smothering that all over like steak, on meat, right over the top. That would be good. On the bread though, it's nice because it gets into the bread a little bit.
Scrambled eggs.
What'd you say, Brian?
Do bone marrow with scrambled eggs.
Oh, bone marrow with scrambled eggs is the tip.
I haven't done that one.
That's delicious.
All right. Like I said, I'll try anything once, food-wise.
Well, and it does. You don't need a lot. I mean, it's a super savory flavor. You don't need to use a lot of it.
Yeah, see, going back to the mozzarella, minus the bone marrow, this one's a lot sweeter, and I almost like that savory taste that I get with the bone marrow version. I like the way that pairs way better. Not that this isn't good. This is very good, but I definitely prefer the savory over the sweet. Very delicious. Messy, but good.
The problem with the steak here, these steak bites, I like the steak, but they're so rich with the goat cheese, bread, and oil. So every bite's just super rich. It's delicious, though.
Do any of these other ones have bone marrow in them? I'll wait till you're done gnawing on that. Hold on. What'd you say? Oh, yeah, absolutely. There you go. Welcome to the struggle.
So for the last 10 minutes, all the viewers have been watching us eat. It's truly a party.
Hey, I can't.
It's truly a party.
I'm just blown away right now. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I'm just like, wow. I was, leading up to this, I'm like, oh, bone marrow. That's such a. I've never had it. Seems so different, so unique. I'm like, I don't know. This sounds crazy, but wow. I wish there was more. There's only 2 of them. So good. And Nicole ate half of the other one, so I only got like 1.5 of them. What a shame. Fred, I feel like I got screwed here. It was actually good. I really like it. I wish there was more, but the bone marrow, the one that I like the most, there's the least of.
You're just left wanting now.
I don't get like a couple of rounds. I got like 1 round and then like a sampling. What a shame. Well, I mean, I guess all these other ones are not going to eat themselves, so I'll have to tear into those at some point. But so this is the rest of the other one with the bone marrow. I'm gonna go in for another bite of this. This is so delicious. This is gonna be like my new thing. John, just as a heads up, this is gonna be like the only thing I talk about cooking wise now for like the next 3 months. Should we add some bone marrow to it?
I'm using tons of bone marrow. I've got like 6 bones coming in tomorrow from Meat and Bone. I'm going to be cooking with bone marrow on Christmas Day.
We got to get more bone marrow, Nicole. This is part of our lineup now. Where'd Brian go? Brian, you still there?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, it's all good. I'm curious to know how far into that dish you got to.
Yeah, I put it away because I'll eat it all. So I gotta stop.
He had to hit the defibrillator, and now he's back on screen. We're good. This happens every time we do the show.
I will say this: that this is your cheese. When somebody told me to do shrimp with it, I was like, "There's no way." But actually, I can't explain it. The shrimp with this cheese works. It's better. It's definitely better with a crostini or a breadstick. And that cheesy bread with the mustard and the garlic, man, that is insanely good.
I'm just happy that you put some seafood in there to cut some of that cheese a little bit. I wouldn't put shrimp myself either, but when you put that dish together, I thought you were just going to do cheese bread with cheese dip, which was great.
No, yeah. It's 2 separate appetizers, but yeah, it's a lot of cheese.
Hey, Brian knows his cheese dip. I made his queso dip for my family for a football game when I was in Dallas, and that thing was a hit. I mean, it was a heart attack in a bowl, but man, it was good.
Yeah, that smoked queso is delicious.
I wanted to say, I was thinking about it. What if instead of the shrimp, you did Maine lobster, or more specifically, Maine lobster tail?
I'll be real
Alright,
honest
I
with you,
would-
man. I'm almost a purist. Unless it's in an Italian pasta dish, cheese doesn't belong on seafood.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But it works. I agree with you. I would love to put it a little bit on a lobster tail just to it does.
I just feel like the lobster would be. I feel like it's a similar consistency to shrimp, but I feel like it has a little bit more of a stronger flavor that I don't know might balance out with the cheese better.
Yeah, it would cut the richness of the cheese very well.
Freddie, are you also waiting to eat off the show too?
Oh no, I ate everything. There's no more ramaki left. There's a handful of Brussels sprouts left. I mean, I just ate. Which this was so nice. I never get to eat during the show because I don't cook as much because someone's got to pay attention to the show. And
I
this was
feel like
great.
I haven't been paying attention ever since this came out. Now I feel like that's me right now. I don't even know what's going on because I'm just like.
Why we don't normally all three cook.
Man, if we had something like
That's right.
show notes,
What happened, Brian?
I said if we just had like show notes or something to follow.
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh,
say
no.
the quote of the night for me is Matthew says, "I haven't been paying attention since the food came out." It started well before the food came out.
Oh, is that a show notes joke? Oh, okay.
Oh, I see.
That's my cue to go back to the show notes. Let me see what I can salvage.
I threw mine away. You're on your own now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hear about this after the show. I'm gonna hear about this for the next 6 weeks. Oh, remember that time we did a show and you didn't follow the show notes? I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, John, remember that time that I don't ever use show notes and it really just kind of threw me off my game?
Well, we're down in the ditch, so you can pull us out.
I'm just watching John over there just continue to eat off camera and then come back.
Right.
Like he's trying to hide it.
I'm cleaning
Oh, you're cleaning.
at the same time.
You're cleaning the plate. That's
I'm
for sure.
cleaning.
Oh, yeah, don't let the show get in the way of you cleaning up or anything.
Yeah, because all of our viewers would love to watch you clean the kitchen right now. That's why they tuned in.
So it's pretty funny so my dad comes up. I'm at my family's house. Show starts at 7. We got technical difficulties going on. He shows up in the kitchen at 7. It's packed full. So he goes out to get something to eat. I'm cooking dinner, by the way. So he brought me back a double quarter pounder with cheese. So I did get McDonald's actually delivered to me during the show today.
Nice.
Not needed because I just ate 24 ounces
Not
of
a
ribeye.
regret.
But
I mean, hey, that could be a new thing for you guys. McDonald's on the show.
Yeah, I think the twice a year that I get the McRib, that's about all the McDonald's I need. With the exception if I'm traveling, I will get an egg McMuffin, some hash browns, but otherwise that McDonald's isn't my go-to.
The sausage McMuffin for me
Yep.
is very important when I'm like hungover and like especially like when I'm out or like traveling whatever and like I just like I found that the sausage McMuffin, let's even throw the McDonald's breakfast burritos in there. It's great. The next day for me it always works. You get some of that in the morning the next day. I don't know if it just absorbs it all. It kind of balances me back out, and I actually feel better. It's the craziest thing.
You're just kind of in a happy place after you have that.
Yeah.
this wine's fantastic.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
I'm over here sipping on water and my my cocktail over here still.
So, what was that cocktail again? Is Nicole there?
Nicole is here. Would you like me to?
Yeah, could she tell us about her cocktail again?
Yes. They want you to talk about the cocktail again.
Hello, sorry, I'm stuffing my face off camera right now. So I made an apple cider, old fashioned. So I have Brussels Reserve in it, a little bit of maple syrup instead of simple syrup, apple cider, apple, cinnamon, and some orange bitters.
Delicious.
Yes.
Nice.
Why'd you put it on me?
Because I put the
No one wants
recipe
to
up.
see me.
I put the recipe up and post cooking.
Oh, I see.
You're smoking Nicole. We'll go back to the
Enjoy
main
my
screen.
Padron
There we go.
as well. Yeah.
I'm gonna I gotta figure out what I'm gonna have for a cigar tonight. I did have a Patron earlier today. I went down and did the wine store in Bangor, Maine, to pick up some wine for tomorrow. So I didn't get into the wine club wine because we got some stuff planned with that. But I went down there and picked up the baguette I had today was actually from New York. There's a bakery in Brooklyn that ships up to here. So I picked that baguette up from there. So that was kind of cool. I picked up a couple different cheeses for Thursday. I got 3 different steaks I'm doing. We're going to be roasting a turkey too. We're actually going to be roasting the turkey from Thanksgiving that Meat and Bone sent to me the day of Thanksgiving, essentially. So that'll be getting Thanksgiving turkey's going to be going off on Christmas this year. So got a lot of stuff going on, but it was a fun little trip down there. I don't know what I'm going to have. I will definitely have a cigar tonight.
I'm definitely going to have another one myself with Nicole.
I
after
am
the
as
show.
well. As soon as I put the stuff away.
Well, if we read the show notes, it would appear that it is almost time to wrap up the show. If I'm following them correctly, I don't know. Fred, I know you didn't read them.
No, but that's the pivotal thing, man. You got to get the wrap up just right. Otherwise, Carney will text you like 10 minutes after the show.
Yeah, I don't.
No, it's Christmas Eve. I'm trying to be nice. I'm gonna relax. My Apple Watch is telling me to breathe, so it's the holidays. I'll be nice.
That's his way of saying that he's getting very fired up and frustrated, but he's trying to hide his aggression on camera until after we're not on the air.
No, I'm just hiding it with wine. Just hiding it with wine.
Actually, full disclosure, I don't think Jonathan's ever complained about his show, no matter how much it train wrecks. I don't think he ever has complained about anything.
No.
Thank you, Fred. That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Yeah. Well, it's not our show.
That's the nicest
It's not our
thing.
show, so technically my record still stands.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I feel a pep talk in the future. I don't see this ending very well for me. I don't know if I'll ever be invited back to hang out with the Hank.
You did great. You really did great. It's actually it's weird. You're just watching guys cook. It's really weird. Then you're just hungry. Then you're hangry, and then you're like going, I can't eat any of that stuff. Yet I'm talking it up. Yeah, it's not pretty.
No, it was an awesome show, man. You did a great job. That's what part of the fun of this whole show is. Like, if stuff goes bad, people don't follow the show notes. It's all good. I mean, the rest of that's what wine's for.
Yeah, well, I'm glad
That's
you
right.
got some wine. That's definitely your happy place. Well, so why don't you tell us what's next for Hacking Gourmet?
So, very recently, I mean, we just added Hacking Gourmet bikinis to the Hacking Gourmet store. So, if our lady fans are interested in Hacking Gourmet bikinis, those have been added to the store. No, we just launched our Hacking Gourmet store. We've got some plans for some different gourmet sessions with Crown Heads in 2021. We'll be meeting with our friends at Crown Heads to get something together with that. And I think the future, I think Fred probably agrees and Brian agrees, the future is getting this COVID thing done so we can actually get back out on the road and start expanding this and the cigars at the same time. So for me, that's, we got a really exciting year planned. Our first show is going to be January 11th, I believe, the Monday, the 11th. And so that'll be our first show. Yep, that'll be our first show. But yeah, it's been a great year. It was fun. It was something that started just as a couple people grilling, and Fred was our second guest and stuck on the show with us, which has been great. So it's been a fun year. I think it's been a bunch of grid growth, and the sky's the limits, and we hope to continue to get better time after time. And hopefully the future involves, flawless shows.
In reading the show notes.
Yeah, right.
Well, at Smokin Tabacco, next week I believe it's going to be just the three of us. We'll end the year. We'll do a year in review, and just kind of wrap up this 2020 shit show as we look to 2021. And but after that, we have a lot of people coming up on the show. We got Michael Capolini from Toscano Cigars. We have Coop's actually coming. Since you bring up Coop, Coop's coming on in a couple weeks. So feel free to let him know that I botched my exclusive news release job, and that he's probably going to be back at the top of that list. So I'm sure he'd get a kick out of that. And we do have a giveaway that we're doing at Smokin Tabacco that has yet to be announced. We are trying to get it out this week, but just a couple of things kind of held us up. So as soon as we have all the pieces together, we will let you guys know. But it's going to be fun. There's going to be some cool stuff in there. There's going to be whiskey. There's going to be a box of cigars. There's going to be some swag. There's going to be one other thing maybe that I don't think we announced. I'm going to save that for a surprise. So that's all we got going on over here. Guys, just wanted to say thanks for doing this. Thanks for coming on to the Smokin Tabacco
Thanks for having us.
platform. Thank you for having. Thank you for letting me be part of the Hacking Gourmet crew for the night. And next time, if I'm allowed to again, I will read the show notes. And I won't screw that up. So, John, I'm sorry about the show notes, but thank you for putting this together. This is a first time for everything, and that's usually when you learn. And I learned today that I should really read the show notes like 15 times and make sure that I understand them, even though, as you said, the fonts were all kind of all over the place. So it kind of got a little confusing, but, maybe throw in a segue or two. I don't know.
I mean,
Sometimes
for the record, there are segues on there, so it's no big deal. I'll just show everybody the show notes. It's segmented with segues. Tells you when to go back to the show. It's got everything on there. It also has got times. So for those of you that are watching the show,
Wait, what happened?
those that are watching the show, we're also 30 minutes over.
So much for it's Christmas Eve. I'm going to be nice. Yeah. There we go.
There it
Hey,
is.
do it to the backup copy and the backup to the backup.
Bah humbug!
Perfect.
This is not going to end well for me tonight. And it's already been a shitty day, so who knows?
But you got bone marrow, so you turned it around.
Yeah, the bone marrow definitely helped. But I think that's going to do it for us.
So any final words? Fred, final words.
No, so glad. I mean, hey, everybody, happy holidays. And whatever you're cooking, enjoy it. And we'll see you guys next year.
Brian, final words.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy New Year. Be safe. Enjoy your family. And look forward to 2021.
John Carney, final words. Thank you for having us, Matthew. You're like a brother to me. I appreciate it. I think the comment of the night is this: Orlando Perez. Oh man, Carney did a Nancy Pelosi rip with the notes. Yep, he did. But no, it was a great time, man. Merry Christmas to everybody. Thank you all for watching both shows. We appreciate all the support. I hope you have a great time over the next few days. And we hope you enjoyed hanging out with us tonight. And it was a great time. Thank you, Matthew. Merry Christmas. We'll be in touch over the next few days. And we'll have a team meeting here shortly after the call. No, just kidding. Great time. Merry Christmas to everybody. Matthew, it's all you, baby.
Guys, thank you for watching tonight. To the Hacking Gourmet crew, thank you for coming on. To everyone watching, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and stay safe. Enjoy your time with your families this week. 2020's been a rough year, so make it a good time for Christmas. Christmas is one of the best days of the year, so definitely go all out for that if you're going to do something. But other than that, enjoy. Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas. We will see you next week.